Before I start this review, there's absolutely one important thing you need to know about the Honor 6 Plus. You see this dual 8 megapixel cameras which Huawei claims can take better and sharper focus pictures. Now we've been seeing such a dual camera setup in HTC's One M8 which didn't really succeed. Huawei claims their phone can take pictures as good as a DSLR camera. To find out if that's true, don't forget to check out our in-depth camera review. Moving on, let's find out if the Honor 6 Plus is a worthy successor to last year's Honor 6. This is Kushang for Pricebaba and you're watching the review of Honor 6 Plus. Straight up, the phone looks like an iPhone 4 married with the Xperia Z3 and they had a kid maybe. It shares similar chamfered edges and metal bands of the iPhone 4 with a full glass back and rounded bottom corners of the Xperia Z3. We don't know if this is intentional, but the similarities are apparent. The phone definitely feels sturdy and premium in hand. It looks like a luxurious or a high-end device. In hand it felt a little heavy at 165 grams. And despite the sharper textured metal bands, the phone feels naturally placed in hand thanks to the rounded corners. It just fits in your palm and one-hand operation becomes easier if you need to perform easier tasks. The power and volume buttons are placed at the right spot and they feel tactile when clicked. Below these buttons you'll find two trays. The first one can fit in either a microSD card or a nano SIM. But we couldn't get a nano SIM to work. Originally in China it's sold as a dual SIM device, but for India Huawei has disabled the SIM slot. So the second tray works with a micro SIM. We wish the company had retained the dual SIM functionality. We've seen shimmery artificial pattern glass backs before, Nexus 4 if you guys remember. The Honor 6 Plus also has such a glass fiber back. It has like thousands of tiny light reflecting circles placed in an order below the glass surface. Of course, a glass back always comes with its set of drawbacks. Yes, it's a fingerprint magnet, and yes, the glass fiber is prone to scratches. Those are the sacrifices that come with any glass-made phone, and if you don't mind cleaning your phone every 3-4 hours, then go ahead. On the front, a beautiful 5.5-inch Full HD display occupies most of the space. It's one of the nicer IPS LCD panels I've seen after a long time. The colors feel lively and icons look like they are laid off on top of the display. It's not super bright but well balanced, and I never came across outdoor visibility issues even when auto brightness was turned on. The colors look accurately saturated and viewing angles are great. Even reading for a longer time is pleasing thanks to a high pixel density of 401 ppi. Now we recently reviewed the Honor 4X which also ran on the same Emotion UI 3.0 baked with Android 4.4 KitKat. The good part is EMUI isn't heavy and comes bloatware free. There are some decent colorful themes to play around with if you're into customization. Something I quickly found useful is customizing the default Android navigation bar. I added a fourth notification panel button. This helps to easily use this huge 5.5-inch phone with one hand. Now among all the Huawei apps, the dialer has integration of keypad, contacts and messaging into one hub, and this is actually a good idea. Under the settings menu, Notification Manager comes in handy if you need to quickly restrict an app from sending notifications. Another feature I loved is private mode, which allowed me to set an owner password and as well as a visitor password. For the visitor mode, I can select private contacts, albums and applications which I would want to hide. So if I unlock my phone with the visitor mode password, all the selected stuff will go invisible and your friend wouldn't even know. Now the sad part about the software is that it's heavily borrowed from iOS. Things like no app drawer, drag down anywhere on home screen for search, control center lookalike on lock screen, camera app UI, and lastly assistive touch style controls. It's all borrowed from iOS. Another irritation is the absence of settings icon from the quick access toggle keys. I'm surprised Huawei forgot to add this. The Honor 4X I used had the settings icon but it's absent on the Honor 6 Plus. Also, the multitasking view isn't intuitive. It becomes a long array of just 4 previews per page from left to right. Android's default multitasking view is better as scrolling on the same page is way faster and better to use. Overall, Huawei's EMUI is a mixed bag of good original ideas, patched with iOS inspirations and few inconsistencies. The Honor 6 Plus is carrying Huawei's own chipset. It's an Octa Core CPU paired with 3 GB of RAM. If I were to compare it with other Qualcomm chipsets, then this is on par with the Snapdragon 801. Now you don't need to know all that, as in real life the phone is a brilliant performer. I didn't come across any freezes or lags. Apps load up quickly and it felt like EMUI is made to work smoothly with the chipset. Regular games like Temple Run 2 and Subway Surfer ran just fine, and even heavier games like Real Racing 3 and Dead Trigger 2 played equally smooth with eye-pleasing graphics. Even after constantly playing Real Racing 3 for half an hour, the phone didn't heat up, which is a good thing. I can safely call this a great gaming device, and I think the overall performance will get a boost up even more after the phone will receive the Lollipop update. All in all, the phone's performance is as good as any 2015 flagship device. The audio quality isn't that good. The speaker is placed on the back and the bottom placement especially contributes to average sound quality. Quite a lot of times I ended up placing my fingers over it while playing a game, thus resulting in muffled sound. The same happens when the phone is placed on the table. Even listening to music isn't pleasing as the sound felt teeny and kind of like you're listening to a bad live performance. The speakers definitely need an upgrade in the next Honor 6 model maybe. The phone's battery life is impressive. It comes with a used 3600 mAh battery. With heavy usage which involved gaming, social networks and YouTube over Wi-Fi, I still had about 20 to 25% juice left till the next day's morning. In my video loop test where I left a YouTube video on loop with full brightness and Wi-Fi on, the phone lasted for 10 hours, which is excellent. I assume if you use it moderately, the phone can easily last for a day and a half. Plus, if you ever ran out of juice, the ultra power saving mode, which keeps only basic call and message functions to use, will save your day. In the box, Huawei is given a 2-way charger which charges the device faster. It took around 2 hours 15 minutes for a full charge. So don't lose this charger as the big battery needs a faster charger. Now, as much as I enjoyed the long battery life, good performance and the beautiful display, my friend Saif's camera review concluded that the dual 8 megapixel cameras aren't great and it's all just a gimmick. Huawei is selling this phone on the basis of its camera being superior, but it fails in our tests. Also, the software needs some fixing and the phone's glass back becomes a pain to clean over the time. All these reasons make it hard to recommend this phone, especially because the pricing is steep at Rs 26,500. There are other affordable phones like the Xiaomi Mi 4 and OnePlus One that offer great performance and displays at a much lesser cost. You may want to consider these two phones rather than the Honor 6 Plus. Thank you for watching. If you found this review helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.